Welcome to Transgressive's takeover of Love Record Stores. We filled this hour with exclusive music, poetry, guitar lessons, cookery classes and crate digging from some of our favourite artists in support of the record stores that mean so much to us all. Let's kick off with Marika Hackman performing a cover of one of her favourite songs from her home in London.
Hi, it's Marika Hackman. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into Love Record Stores Day. I'm going to play you a cover of one of my favourite songs. It's called Phantom Limb by the Shins. Falls in winter cold, white girls of the north file past 151. They are the fabled lambs of Sunday ham, the HS known, and they will float above the grass in circles if they tried. A latent power I know they hide, to keep some hope alive that a girl like I could ever try, could ever try. So we'll just skirt the hallway sides, a phantom and a fly, follow the lines and wonder why there's no connection, a week of rolling eyes and cheap shots from the tribe. And we're often in Marcus' porch again. Another afternoon of the goat head tunes and pilfered booze. We wander through her mama's house and milk from the window light. Family portraits circa 95. This is that foreign land with a sprayed on tan, and it all feels fine, be it silk or saline. So when they tap our Monday heads to zombie walking Oxted, this town seems hardly worth the time. And we'll no longer memorize our rhyme too far along in our crime. Stepping over white now towers to the sky, with no connection. Thanks for listening.
And now, from Yannis from Foals' legendary Jam Night Milk, here's an exclusive first play of Milk No. 4 Part 3, which took place at Bermondsey Social Club in 2018. The performance features Yannis, legendary producer and half of Simeon Mobile Disco James Ford, Michael from Everything Everything and Addy from Little Cub. You can check out the Foals YouTube channel for more Milk content. Love Record Stores is all about supporting independent retail and collecting the music we love. Here's Alan Palomo, also known as Neon Indian, sharing some gems from his collection.
Hey guys, Alan Palomo here, otherwise known as Neon Indian, and we're going to go through 5 selections from my record collection here. Just some stuff that's been on heavy rotation as of late. We're going to start with my first choice, which is Alec Manzon's second eponymously titled record, recently reissued by Be With Records, and it sounds beautiful. Just a really classy, minimally arranged French electro-funk record. Most of the tunes, it's just like one drum machine, one bass line, one pad, and his incredible vocals. And then, of course, we have the added plus of this insane album cover where he's like kind of creeping on some rooftop through the night here. We got these 2 different shoes. This one's kind of more of a platform. I don't know if it serves some kind of orthopedic function. And then, of course, we got this ominous cat here. So win-win. Second record is Mike Francis's "Let's Not Talk About It." For a lot of Italo disco heads, this one's kind of a holy grail. I mean, it's not full-on sci-fi Italo, but it very much so is heavy on the drum machines, great kind of brassy synth arrangements. It's got quite a few dope tunes on it. Cover Girl and Check It Out with the Groove and Survivor, which is one of his biggest singles, one of his first singles. And then of course you got, look at this sweater. You can't tell where it ends and the scarf begins here. All right, my third selection is this incredible African house record by Lady Thule called I'm Gonna Make It. It's all pretty much about the single I'm Gonna Make It. There's a couple of different versions of it on it in this one, but this has been pretty much a permanent fixture at the end of my DJ sets as of late. Really great production. There's a lot of kind of sampled vocals. I don't know if it's an emulator or Fairlight, but yeah, top notch. My fourth record is not so much a dance record as much as it is this kind of psychedelic chicha, which is like Peruvian cumbia, like psych chicha record off of the incredible label Horóscopo, which translates to Horoscope Records. There's been a lot of reissues lately with bands like Los Chapis and Los Mirlos, but this one I haven't seen any cuts from Grupo Cali included on those, and yeah, it's just it's wild. It's a little bit more 80s than a lot of the 70s, kind of more just like guitar-driven stuff. It's got a little bit more keyboards, some pretty wild chorus guitar tones. At times kind of delve into like Ariel Pink or John Mouse sort of territory. And then, just this artwork is out of control. When I bought it, I guess someone had drawn a beard on her, which is kind of unfortunate, but in great condition nonetheless. Finally, this last one is an ambient record, but it's just one of my all-time favorites. This is Toshifuma Hinata's "Reality and Love." It has a little bit of a soap opera-y kind of vibe, but the compositions often sound like Eric Satie with some FM synths kind of thrown over it. It's a really tranquil, just kind of R&R sort of record. Highly recommended. Long overdue for a reissue, actually. This one is an original. But yeah, that makes 5. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully I'll get to perform in your city in concert soon enough. Take it easy.
And now, the culinary delights of Mutual Benefit's vegan-friendly segment, Nutritional Benefit.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome to the first episode of Nutritional Benefit. I'm your host, Jordan, and we're in my apartment in Brooklyn where I've been quarantined for about 10 weeks now. You may know me from my universally loved and critically acclaimed rock band Nutritional Benefit, but something you may not know about me is that I am a human being and I eat about 3 times a day. And I'd like to share with you one of the recipes I've been really enjoying, which is a vegan pesto that I put over polenta. Alright, welcome to the kitchen. We're going to start with the pesto, and so we definitely need a bunch of basil. This is 2 cups. Here's 3 tablespoons of sunflower seeds. A lot of recipes call for pine nuts, but I work at a bar, or I used to at least, that someone just accidentally shipped us a bunch of sunflower seeds, so everyone at the bar thought I would be the person who could use these up, so I'm trying. These 2 lemon wedges will give us about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And we have 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, aka hippie dust, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then a little bit of water if we need it. So we're just going to throw all of this. We're going to make this in a juice, but then we're going to throw everything else into the blender and make it into pesto. Alright, so let's put all of this in here. So far, this is the most successful way we've been using the sunflower seeds. We tried to make some sunflower butter that I would say was a complete failure. It's the nutritional yeast that'll give it that cheesy flavor. Wash it down with some oil. It's really good. Alright, the polenta seems to have worked out, and now we're going to fry this veggie sausage and saute these veggies and put it all together. I actually really I got addicted to veggie sausage after having a lot of vegetarian English breakfasts while I was on tour over there. And, what's that spot? Weatherspoons? I am not going to use oil because there's already so much in the pesto. But I'll add a little water in a bit to cook the vegetables. Alright, let's add in the kale. I'm gonna add a little salt and some pepper. This is kind of cheating, but a little Italian seasoning. Now, I'm gonna turn off the heat and add the pesto. Alright, so this is the pesto polenta, and it's relatively healthy and flavorful and vegan. I hope everyone's staying healthy, and good luck to the independent record stores out there. We love you. And yeah, let's go eat. Time to share this meal with my roommate and my biggest fan.
We're really missing live music, so let's throw it back to an incredible performance from Let's Eat Grandma in Italy last year. You can check out the full set on their YouTube channel.
Hey, this is Let's Eat Grandma. Thanks for tuning in and supporting Record Stores. This is us playing our track Falling Into Me last summer at a beautiful festival in Italy. Hope you enjoy.
I paved the back streets with the mist of my bed. I crossed the gap between the platform and tread. Falling into me, violet strip lights. I tried to dissipate my focus. Falling into me, but I realize I can't keep hiding my emotions. Falling into me, I can't just lay or let you alone. The words you said are hanging on to me. You keep on my mind by every which way. And then I climbed the steps to the street. There's no reason to doubt myself. My thoughts were pouring down with the rain. Then I see that it's so crystal clear. We got this. You, me, this. Know wherever we go, it's the best place. We should be straight. Know whatever we know, we should just say. You, me, this. Know wherever we go, it's the best place. We should be straight. Know whatever we know, we should just say. We were like living violets, our handprints pressed in the window. I was feeling quite right like this as the lightning glanced down in the eyes, beating right through the dead. We left it dead on we're in so far, but we need it. I bite my hair as I tried to justify. You know I got this. You, me, this. Know wherever we go is the best place. We should be straight. Know whatever we know, we should just say. You,
moment in the home studio with Boniface now, who is working on new music in isolation. Let's join them for a sneak preview.
Hello, this is Marika of Boniface coming at you from Winnipeg, Manitoba for Love Record Store Day. So I just wanted to talk about why I love record stores, why record stores have meant a lot to me at different points in my life. And basically the first thing that comes to mind is when I was a teenager. In high school, I was probably about 16 years old. And there was a stretch of time where things were not going super great, but every day after school I would go to the Exchange District, which has a bunch of record stores, We had the Folk Fest Music Store, we had Red River Books, and we still have one called Into the Music, but Red River Books was my favorite because it had a ton of records. It was all a bunch of there was a lot of used stuff, so I would just go, and it felt really good to have such a... If you've been there, you understand what I mean. It's really secluded, and it's very quiet, and it's sort of dimly lit, but it felt like such a place of solace to me. And that's where I got my first copy of David Bowie's Let's Dance, which the production on my entire first record is sort of loosely based on the way that record sounds. So anyway, that was really formative for me. And it's still why I love being in record stores today. It's calming, and yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually play for you a song that I just wrote. And it's sort of about that feeling of just having a place that feels safe and secure to you when maybe you're in a place that doesn't feel super comfy, when you're not feeling super comfy in your life and yourself. It's called Till Morning, at least that's the working title, and I have the demo here, and I'm just gonna sing it live for you. So I hope you like it. I guess I talk a lot of shit for someone too scared to open up to anybody but the whole world. I won't call you, but I hope that you're in good health. Give me a minute to dismantle parts of myself. Remember the movie theater we'd go to when we were kids? It closed down, but the sign still says it's open 'cause the city's on its last breath. And that's why broken hearts don't open. But wouldn't it be nice, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to stay and talk till morning? Wouldn't it be nice, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to be ourselves like someone else? I hope the pressure turns this moment into diamonds, makes it sparkle like your green eyes in the morning. The softest sound is something I cannot remember, gives me courage that will make it to September. Remember last summer when you saved me from a car crash? Still got the proof written all over my arm. It reminds me I'm not there yet. And that's why broken hearts don't open. But wouldn't it be nice, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to stay and talk till morning? Wouldn't it be nice, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to be ourselves like someone else? Wouldn't it be nice, wouldn't it be nice to be ourselves like someone else? That's why broken hearts don't open. But wouldn't it be nice to stay and talk till morning? Wouldn't it be nice to be ourselves like someone else? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to be ourselves like someone else? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to be ourselves like someone else? Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Marika Boniface, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.
Gengahr have been taking the time to entertain us online with their excellent pub quizzes and guitar tutorials. Here we have John from the band giving us an exclusive guitar lesson in a transgressive favourite.
Hello, I am John from the band Gengahr, and Transgressive have asked me to do a guitar lesson on my favourite song from the Transgressive back catalogue. I have chosen Archie, Marry Me by the band Always, because A, that's one. One, it's a great song. Two, it's really easy, relatively. So I'm going to assume this isn't the first time you've picked up a guitar, but I will try and explain everything fairly coherently. We'll start off with the intro. It should sound like that without that bum note. So we're going to use these two fingers, starting with the second finger on the 8th fret on the second string, and then our first finger on the 7th fret of the first string. We play them together, and then we're going to use the same two fingers, but the first finger is now on the second string on the 4th fret, and the second finger, did I say second finger goes down? I meant the first finger goes there. Second finger goes on the 5th fret of the first string. So there's a bit of a weird change. And then we're just going to slide the first finger up 1 fret, so that's on the second string, up to 5, and then third finger is on the 7th fret of the first string. And then back down to the chord we just played, so first finger slides back down 1 fret to the 4th fret of the second string, and our second finger is going to play the 5th fret of the first string. So that first bit should sound like. And then you can either play that first chord again, or you can play, which is barring with your first finger, the 3rd fret on the 2nd and 1st string. So you're playing 2 frets with 1 finger. And then the rest is the same. And that would be the intro, that's when the vocal comes in. So the chords for the verse and the chorus, they're the same. G major, so that's going to be second finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, first finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, 4th and 3rd string open, third finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and little finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Just strum through all 6. Then we're going to go to a D major. So going from G to D, our 3rd finger stays exactly where it is, which is the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. First finger goes to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and our second finger goes to the 2nd fret of the 1st string. We play the 4th string open, and we don't play the bottom 2, 6th and 5th strings. We want those muted. I mute them by bringing my thumb over and gently pressing down on the 6th and 5th string. But you don't want to push down too hard, otherwise you get some sort of jazz chord. No one wants that. So we've got G major, D major, then we're going to go to an A minor, so that's going to be, don't play the 6th string, 5th string open, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, 1st string open. Same thing again, my thumb is muting the 6th string. Then we're going to go go from there to the last chord, C major, is really easy. Everything stays where it is, other than your third finger comes up and goes to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. 6th string still muted, everything else plays. So that's from the 5th string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open, 1st fret, open. And that's like the whole shebang. When you get to the, just as you're going into the chorus, you hit the C, and then you're into the chorus. In the chorus, he does this nice little, or she does a nice little thing on the D chord, where you pick through it, and when you get to the 1st string, your little finger goes on the 3rd fret on the 1st string, then comes straight back off. If you can see my picking hand as well. Otherwise, exactly the same. The second verse, he does this nice thing, if I'm going to play it right. So you turn on the nastiest fuzz you have, and we're going to, for the first 2 notes, we're going to bend up to the note we want. So we should be playing the 10th fret. We're going to start on the 9th fret and bend up so it's the same pitch as when you play that. And then, so that's the 9th fret, we bend up to the 10th, and then that's on the 5th string. And then the second note is exactly the same, but on the 6th string. So 9, bend up to 10, and then we just hold the 5th fret on the 6th string up to the 8th fret of the 6th string. And you put on the nasty fuzz, you get all the harmonics. That's the only thing that's really different in the second verse. Going to a chorus. After that, we get to the solo, which I'm definitely going to bugger up. But yeah, so we're going to start with a G. So that's the 3rd fret on the 6th string. And then we're going to go straight up to the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. And that's with our 3rd finger, 3rd fret. And then the 1st fret with our 1st finger. And then open, that's all on the 2nd string. And then we're going to fret the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And then we're going to do open 3rd string, back up to 2, then to 4. So far that sounds like. And then we're going to bend that 4th fret. So that's bend on 4. Then down to 2, and then open. That's all on the 3rd string. And then we're going to do a hammer on. So on the 4th string, we've got open, and then straight. And then you play, you fret the 2nd fret straight away. That's the last bit. So that's going to be 4th string, open, hammer on the to the 2nd fret. And then similar on the 3rd string, open, hammer on the 2nd fret, pull off, which is where you're not plucking the string, but you're flicking it with the fretting hand. And then the final bit is 2nd fret on the 4th string, and then open on the 3rd string. I have no idea if any of that made any sense. I'm going to play it again. Attempt to play it slowly. So start on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, then up to the 2nd string, 3, 1, up, 0, open, and then 3rd, I've forgotten what strings are, 3rd string, 2, open, 2, 4, bend on 4, 2, open, and then on the 4th string, open 2, and then on the 1st string, open 2, open, 2 on the 4th string, open on the 3rd string. And then does it all again, but instead, just at the very end, it changes. And then after that bit, so you do the little bend, 2 open, and we're going to go 5, 7, 9, 12. which is all of the fret markers, basically, from 5. 5, 7, 9, 12. And then we get to the bridge, which is just an A minor chord. And you play the B, which is the 2nd fret on the 5th string. And you play a C chord. So it's all the same chords. A minor, played that before. And into the last chorus. I hope that was fun and good and of any use at all. Thanks for having me. Check out my band Gengahr. We're average to alright. Goodbye!
Transgressive alumni The Young Knives have beamed in direct from their caravan for this healthy blast of noise.
Hey, this is Henry and House of Lords from Young Knives. We're
Hello.
here. Hello. We're here for the Transgressive curated hour of the Love Record Store Day Streamy Festival. And this song is called Sheep Tick. In this music is housed all my disappointment.
Today
As we reach the end of our programming, we'd like to take a moment's reflection with Arlo Parks reading her poetry for you. Thank you for tuning in to Transgressive's takeover for Love Record Stores.
Hey everybody, it's Arlo Parks. I'm really grateful to be part of the Love Record Store Day campaign, and I'd love to read a few poems for you guys for that. I'd like to start with a poem that's inspired by the song Creep. I did a cover of that recently, and it's a song that's brought me a lot of comfort and encouraged a lot of vulnerability in me over the years, so I hope you enjoy it. Bowls of cornflowers mingle with the thin blood of the girl who wants to forgive you. Pacing under marbled clouds, eyes of turned earth and scorched ochre, you have never felt as peculiar, as bruise-eyed by her as you do right now. Everything sacred in her has been confirmed. The animal in you is bloated. You hallucinate imaginary pints of milk in her sun trap of a kitchen. She is the fishhook on which you find yourself dangling. As she bends away from you, argan oil and nectarines waft. Your composure dissolves under a glass film of absinthe. You watch her vanish in style, an ephemeral plant drowned in a bead of fluid. She leaves you so much sicker than she found you. That was a poem that I wrote actually sitting in this very chair, and it's an exploration of self-doubt and confusion and obsession, and Creep is a song that was the first Radiohead song I ever heard, so I thought it was only right to write a poem about it. The next thing I'm going to read is one of my favorite stanzas of poetry. It comes from a Janis Gold poem called 6 Sonnets Crossing the West. Here goes. Late afternoon we head west, along the willow-banked Malheur, after the long curve of the Snake River Basin. Above the falls where the Shoshone went to pray, we soak our feet in cold water, and I observe the arch of her brown foot. Rabbit brush and sage, along the highway, juniper on far hills and bluffs. Sundown and dusk falls over the wide basin of land. In Burns, we eat eggs in a cafe, take a room in the Motel 6. In the dark, I can see her black hair black against the pillows. Its clean scent makes me think of corn. At dawn, I hold her and there are kisses, then more kisses, then more. The day is cold. A north wind blew last night, but the land is open. Rain falls in showers of light. I think the reason why that poem is one of my favorites is just because it is so visceral and it incorporates elements of nature, which is something that I really enjoy doing in my writing. Poetry forms the backbone of everything I've ever written, probably everything I ever will write. So thank you for allowing me to share a little bit of it with you today. The last thing that I'd like to read is a poem that inspired a song that I put out called Black Dog, a song that surrounds mental health, that explores the idea of being helpless in the face of the pain of somebody you love. And those lyrics came from this poem that I'm about to read to you right now. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing a little bit with you, and thank you again for having me. You promised you'd be there in the morning, and I only half believed you because last time you said that you almost weren't. I should have forgotten that by now, but I remember. There's always been a part of you, some little agony, smooth, hot, and painful, something that I could not touch. I hear the smile in your voice today, though. A loose string of dark red silk, so soft, faint, and rare. Where did it come from? For months it seemed the curtains were always closed. It seemed like you were always angry at me and tired of yourself. Seemed like you wouldn't survive this. Ignoring the jewel of hope behind my right eye, rolling over onto your side to crush a tear with the side of your wrist like a tiny blue flower. We were all so scared. Thank you very much. I'm Arlo Parks, and I hope that moved you in some way.
Available today online at all good indie retail stores in the UK, Love Record Stores have exclusive pressings of the first 2 Always LPs and the debut album from Flume on one-off coloured vinyl.